Besides CG mustache, you know, the fake one that they had to put on, it's only really noticeable in one scene. Boy, that comment didn't age well. Yeah, I know this news is pretty old, but honestly, since my first video was on Justice League, I think it only makes sense for me to talk about the Snyder Cut coming out. Also, now that new information has come to light, we also got that awesome black-suited Superman clip that Zack Snyder dropped at JusticeCon, so I think it only makes sense to talk about it now. So for those who are unaware, there's been this whole movement since Justice League came out about the Snyder Cut. What the Snyder Cut basically is Zack Snyder's version of Justice League. Basically a director's cut. Because Zack Snyder had to sadly step down from doing the reshoots because of his daughter passing away, the studio decided to let Joss Whedon do the reshoots. And when you watch the movie, you can tell that there are scenes that are clearly not Zack Snyder's. And apparently there was all this footage that was cut out of the movie that made it apparently close to 4 hours. Scenes like Darkseid being in one of the flashbacks, and this awesome clip of Wonder Woman going to the museum to look up this mural of Darkseid. So it was announced a few months ago that the Snyder Cut is going to be coming to HBO Max next year, which I was beyond excited. I'm like, oh yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to see that. Now I have a reason to get HBO Max other than to rewatch the good seasons of Game of Thrones. And there's been a lot of debate. People are saying that, oh, the Snyder Cut fan base is toxic, that there have been people who are shouting online, bad-mouthing people. But look, in every fandom, there's gonna be some a-holes out there. There's gonna be some toxic people who makes that whole fandom look bad. But the Snyder Cut has actually done some good things, like donated a lot of money to a suicide prevention charity. So, my thoughts on the Snyder Cut: I always believed that it did exist, because when it comes to movies, especially comic book movies, there is usually a director's cut of a movie. I mean, there's a director's cut of Alien. There's a director's cut of Superman too. There's a director's cut of the Daredevil movie from way back when. That was actually pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. And there's another version of Blade Runner out there. So a director's cut is nothing new. But the whole thing was, everyone was trying to argue that if it was real or not. I'm like, of course it's real. There's a director's cut. He did this movie on film, so he has reels of film that were not used. This has also been confirmed by various members of the cast, such as Ray Fisher and Jason Momoa. I think even Gal Gadot to a certain extent. Hell, Patty Jenkins, when she was promoting Wonder Woman 1984, kinda said, yeah, there is a director's cut. In fact, Zack Snyder himself confirmed this a few years ago. He had this big screening for some of his movies, like Watchmen, Batman v Superman, and while he was signing posters, one fan came up to him and they just straight up asked him, hey, is there a director's cut of Justice League? You know, does the Snyder Cut exist? And Zack Snyder basically said, and I'm paraphrasing here, there is a cut, he has several of them, and it's only up to Warner Brothers if they want to go and release it. Which makes sense, because while he did film it, the rights still belong to Warner Brothers. So if the Snyder Cut was going to come out, it would have to be through Warner Brothers approval, which makes sense. Now, when it comes to some of the criticism of the movie, I understand some of it. There was one YouTuber out there, I think it was Jody's Corner. He said, and I'm paraphrasing here because he said this a long time ago, that he is mad that we're going to see a live-action Darkseid in a movie on a streaming service, as opposed to on the big screen. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. I'm disappointed by that. But honestly, I'd rather have that live-action version of Darkseid than have to stick with what they did in Smallville, which I absolutely hated what they did with Darkseid in Smallville. They basically made him a giant fart cloud with red eyes that did evil things. Another little tangent here. Warner Brothers, Disney, since Disney owns Marvel now.
Stop doing that to those characters.
It was done to Galactus in Fantastic Four: Rise of Silver Surfer. They did it to Dormammu in Doctor Strange. They did it to Parallax in Green Lantern. And they did it to Darkseid in Smallville. Never do that again. It's been shown that it does not work, and fans, who are the ones who are going to see your movies, do not like it. They managed to make Ego the living planet work in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And Ego in the comics is basically a giant planet with a face. If you can do that well, you can do Galactus. And now there's been some debate as to how it's gonna come out. Some say it's gonna be a 4-hour length movie, but others are speculating that it's gonna be a miniseries composed in the 4-hour long episodes. And my personal preference, I think if you do it in 4 separate episodes, that might be the best idea. And I think more people are gonna wanna watch it that way. Because, let's be honest, can you imagine watching Justice League in 4 hours? Yeah, some people are going to be turned off to that. So doing it in a mini-series would make the most sense, but it hasn't been announced if that's what they're going to do, and I think they're going to announce something very soon in August at that DC online convention. So we'll have to wait until then. But other than that, I'm excited. I want to see it. I've always been kind of a sort of supporter of the Snyder Cut. So there are my thoughts on the Snyder Cut coming out. I'm excited to see more of Ben Affleck's Batman. I'm excited to see more of Ezra Miller's The Flash. I want to see more Henry Cavill as Superman, less CG lip. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Who doesn't want to see Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman? Chase Momoa as Aquaman. My man. And Ray Fisher as Cyborg. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? Yeah, comment down below, let me know what you think about this. If you agree with me, great. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. Other than that, peace be with y'all. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.